Okay, morning everyone. Welcome to the briefing on Saturday, the 8th of October. Okay, so I've just put the overnight chart up to show you this cold front here that went through Lasham at about 6 o'clock last night. Quite a bit of rain on it, quite active. And then move it on 12 hours, and you can see the high pressure. It's developed in over us fairly quickly. Settled things out. Winds have dropped off quite dramatically, and we're not quite under the centre of the high. That's the west of England, really, or the sort of Bristol, or sort of, the English Channel that way. Cold front's well out of the way, and we're just in a light at the moment west northwesterly air pressure. It is fairly light. Lots of fog being forming in here overnight in places, and I think that'll burn off fairly quickly, according to the BBC. And the task for today, well, they're fairly short. Farnborough down here, 310, 7 knots. Other places are saying sort of 280, 290. So west northwesterly, light, 5 to 7 knots. And Cav OK means no cloud below 5,000 feet. All the data suggests that's probably correct. Doesn't mean it's not going to be soarable, but I think it's just unlikely we're going to see any cumulus. We'd be lucky if we do. I might be wrong. Dew points might be slightly higher than I think they're going to be, but we'll see. Okay, so upper winds, say across the country here, 280 to 90, just 10 knots, light, and down to the south of us, just very variable. So we're probably 5 to 10 knots westerly, really. SatPic really doesn't show us anything. It's clear there's virtually no upper cirrus, and I can't even see any little bits of fog on there. So I think if they are around, they were little bits this morning at about 7:30. They've probably cleared already as the sun's got up. Temperature-wise, says 15 there. BBC are suggesting 16. I'm going to go with that. So quite nice for this time of year. 16 degrees, light winds, feel quite warm and pleasant at the launch point. Dew points is the interesting one. Temperatures actually got down to 3 degrees around Lasham last night, according to our weather station. Certainly my car thermometer said that this morning. So wouldn't be surprised if we don't get dew points down at about 4s, somewhere around there. If dew point was 6, yeah, we're going to see cumulus. Dew points around about 4. No, I don't think we will. And you'll see that from the sounding here. It's the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock. Should be 3,500 feet, hopefully above Lasham. If you follow the lines from here, there's where they're saying the dew points are going to be 3 degrees. They're just not going to intersect this. Dew points of 6, and yes, they will get cumulus at about 3,500 feet. So we'll see where the dew points go. Both Top Meteo and SkySight suggesting no cumulus, but there's a variation on what they think the height of the thermals are going to be. When do I think it's going to get going? Well, that's going to be the challenge. Predicting that it's going to be lunchtime at least before we get some proper usable thermals. So cloud amounts, dew points are higher out to the southwest, and I think they will see cumulus down there. They're just showing it blue. This is 12 o'clock over most of the country, really. And then in the afternoon, some cumulus appearing on the south coast. Could well be, yeah, sort of sea air convergence of some kind, change in the air mass. We might even see the cumulus around us, but suggesting that anywhere north is going to be blue. Now, Top Meteo are going with, let's go for a midday, getting soarable around midday to 1 o'clock, up to about 1,000 meters, 3,000 feet, and then move it on a couple of hours. And they're suggesting 14, even 1,500 meters, so 4,000 feet. SkySight not quite so optimistic, as you'll see in a minute. And they have actually predicted a cross-country distance. Let's look at the 18-meter glider. So out to the west for maybe a couple of 100K. Don't think it's going to be the last 300 day of the year. I don't think it's quite that good enough. Okay, so SkySight, this is their depth of thermals above the ground. They're saying 1,100 meters, some places 900 meters. And again, that sort of 1430 height of thermals, max 1,100 meters. So better in the Cotswolds, better perhaps towards the west of England, but slightly less optimistic than Top Meteo. And there again, suggesting it's going to be blue, but with potential cumulus down on the coast. So similar sort of thing, but they're less optimistic on the potential flight distance. So they don't always agree. Okay, folks, so it's going to be a great training day. Nice light winds, a bit of local soaring later on and into the afternoon for training. Be really, really good. Potential for some cross-country flying if you're optimistic. Onto airspace. Really, really quiet. Going out to the west, that's just Middle Wallop. No tamming there, winching there. The Portsmouth Naval Gliding Club are operating out of there today and tomorrow. Number 15 is just high intensity radio transmissions. And the only other thing of note out to the northwest towards Nymphsfield is South Cerney will be parachuting today and tomorrow from first thing this morning till 9 o'clock tonight. And that's really about it in terms of airspace. Okay, operationally we're going to be on 27, fairly normal setup, and I'll get the launch point vehicle out fairly shortly. I think the entire club fleet is booked today, all the sort of two-seaters are certainly, so get everything out the hangar and get it going. No jet movements, no light aircraft movements that I know about, so we've got the airfield to ourselves today, which is good, and I will see you out there fairly shortly.